Hello, friends, or non-friends, new people. Hello and welcome to what hopefully will be a YouTube channel. This is my first video, and the main point of this video is a thrift trip. We drove from LA to San Luis Obispo, and there are 3 days of this trip, and I'm gonna show you where we thrifted, what they had in there, what I picked up, where we stayed in hotels, and where we ate. Here's the breakdown of the trip. Day one, which is this video right here. We went from LA to Ventura. We thrifted all around Ventura, and then we drove from Ventura to this teeny tiny little town outside of Santa Barbara called Summerland. Do you remember that TV show with Lori Loughlin and Zac Efron and Jesse McCartney? Summerland? Well, that's that little town, Summerland. So we went to Summerland and we stayed the night in Summerland. We drove up to Montecito, which is in Santa Barbara, really beautiful, for dinner. LA, Ventura, Summerland, Montecito. We were just like popping in those little moments. Yeah, if you want to plan your own thrift trip or just your own trip in general, take a look at this video. My husband and I love thrifting as like a means of a vacation. We went to Stockholm last year and we bopped around to a bunch of thrift stores. And it was so fun, so cool to see the city in that way, so cool to see what they had. So I was looking online for like a thrift trip, and I was like, you know, I want to see the thrift stores, but I also want to see where people stayed and where they ate. So hopefully this is a little bit more comprehensive thrift trip vacation moment that I can just give other people if they want to go to the same places, because they were great. Yeah, so this is day one of the trip. I hope you enjoy it. So our first stop on our thrift road trip was in Ventura at this wonderful place called POPPIES Vintage. So vintage is technically anything that's 20 years or older. So right now that's from the 2000s and before, which is really insane. So this place definitely has a lot of vintage pieces. There's like the difference between thrift and vintage a lot of the time is also curation when it comes to like a store. This place was very, very curated and very beautiful. If you're on the hunt for a pair of vintage Levi's, I feel like POPPIES is a great place to go because they've done the research for you. There are a lot of details in vintage Levi's, and people really know their stuff about this, telling how old they are. And I feel like POPPIES did this research for you, and it's priced accordingly. So if you're not like an expert in Levi's, but you want a pair of Levi's, I would say POPPIES is a great place to go. This is my lovely husband, Michael, by the way. He will be appearing in this video and many videos in the future. Generally speaking, in vintage stores though, things that are older and well preserved are going to be more expensive, and then like trendy pieces will also be more expensive. And I feel like POPPIES had a good blend of both combinations where they had trendy pieces and they had cool old vintage pieces, and they both were priced fairly according to that. I also have a rule for myself that when I'm vintage shopping, I'm not allowed to buy Hawaiian prints because I'm weirdly obsessed with Hawaiian prints, and I feel like in California it's everywhere. So I wanted this skirt, but I had to put it back because I have to follow my own rules, and we all need boundaries for vintage shopping. But it's good to note that this store had some pretty good men's options too, and I was obsessed with these bolo ties, the lighter, boiled egg, the cockroach, iconic. Kept walking down the street and noticed next door there was a really cute little fabric store, and I grew up and my mom used to make my clothes, and so I truly love the fabric store for the nostalgia and for just to see what they have. Like, they have a lot of ribbons and craft things. They can have a lot of stuff in a fabric store, so I love to check out what they have. This was a very queer-friendly space. It felt like they had a lot of bright colors, really fun patterns, really cute small business. They have an online shop, so if you're interested, I'll link it here. And then we kept walking and we found this little local bookstore as well. They had cute I love to go in a small bookstore, independent bookstore, and just ask someone working there what they recommend. I didn't do that, but I do like doing that. And then there was this cute coffee shop too. We didn't eat there, but it exists. And then we kept walking down the street and I was laughing over the sign because it said open, and then there was a sign that said sick. I think they weren't open because they were sick. Unclear. Then we drove over to the Boys and Girls Club thrift store. This is really like I would say, I was gonna say run-of-the-mill thrift store, but that is so not true. It is absolutely huge and maybe my favorite thrift store I've ever been to. They have so much product in here and they're bringing out new things all the time. Like, this place is truly a gold mine. They had some expensive things, but it was like kind of random. Like, there was this designer rack, and on the designer rack there were things that were very much not designer marked up, but then in like the not designer rack there were things that were designer not marked up. So I feel like it's one of those places where they don't necessarily know what they have, but they think they do, so you might find some really good deals in there. No shade to them, just that's the way I like to thrift. They had a really cool outdoor section that had a bunch of furniture, so if you're looking for furniture, this is me in my little haul. Hi.
Hello.
So we drove from the Boys and Girls Club about a minute to the main street where it is blocked off by cars, so it's just a walking street, to the Coalition thrift store. And this store was amazing. This was a Prada checkered shirt on the wall that I loved. They had so much inventory and such a wide variety of vintage and thrift and like really cool, iconic, trendy pieces. There were a lot of pieces on the walls that were expensive, but really, really cool. I love that Dodgers jacket. Go Dodgers, world champions. And you know, Roger Rabbit. I actually went back and I bought that butterfly necklace months later. I love it. They had this glass case in the front with expensive things, and then they had like vintage pieces like these two dresses, which I loved. Their pricing was pretty fair. It was on the more expensive side for the really cool iconic pieces on the walls, but I felt like in the racks they had pretty good deals. They had a lot of Carhartt, they had a lot of Levi's, they had a lot of Dickies, they had a lot of men's, which was great. A ton of graphic tees. They had this whole section in the back where shoes were. I also really recommend looking at the ends of racks when you're at a thrift store, because people try things on and then they put them back at the ends of the rack. So I always check out people's go backs, because I want what other people don't want 99% of the time. So I had to check out that little section there. I loved these ladies. They were just gorge. So here I am trying on these saddle shoes that I ended up getting. They were $18, which I thought was pretty good for a pair of leather saddle shoes. I weirdly have been looking for saddle shoes forever. I have yet to wear them, so pray for me. And I also got this nightgown. And I thought these were kind of a cool square-toed sandal for a man, and my husband thought they were fugly. Then we went across the street to Throwback Junction. We just kind of popped in here for a second. This was my least favorite of the four, but it's still definitely a cool place to check out. I felt like they had a lot of cowboy stuff. Their prices were really fair. I say it's my least favorite, but it was a great store, so definitely check it out. We don't have any lunch recommendations for anyone because we didn't eat lunch. Hey, future Melissa here. Interrupt this to bring you information about lunch. I went back to Ventura with my aunt and my mom, and we got lunch at Paradise Pantry. It is right next to Coalition Thrift Store. So Paradise Pantry has two sides. One side is the restaurant, and the other side is a wine and cheese shop. They also have some craft beers. Mom got this lamb wrap that was truly to die for, unbelievably delicious. And then my aunt got this fish salad. It was kind of like a warm salad. The food was so fresh, so delicious, that I feel like the flavors were there, but not too harsh. It was light in a delectable way. I mean, what my mom had was not light, but the food was incredible. If you're in the area, I highly recommend. We're heading to the inn on Summerhill in Summerland for the night. It's a B&B. We're really excited about that. When it comes to hotels, we love to be highbrow and we love an amenity. Our hotel has wine and cheese from 4 to 5:30. Currently it's 4:42 p.m. We are absolutely on the way. So the fact that there is a wine and cheese moment that comes with our stay, very on brand for us.
Take advantage.
Really love to take advantage of a quick wine and cheese moment.
Could never drink a glass of wine ever in my life.
Would literally never order a glass of wine if my life depended on it.
But am I gonna have a glass of wine right now? Sure.
Burns the throat every sip we take.
Maybe allergic, honestly.
Yeah, I think we both might be allergic.
But when it's free wine and cheese, hour and a half,
or for us really half. We love wine, and we'll be specific of. Well, actually, it's pretty good that we don't like wine because whatever they serve us will be like delicious, aka bad, but in the moment it'll be good. I do think cold wine is great.
Great.
Also, another thing about us is, we'll say we hate something, and then you hand it to us, love it.
Sold.
Absolutely sold every time. We're like, hate this, hate this, hate this. Someone gives it to us, honestly love it. 10 out of 10. We'll write a Google review how much we love it.
I have the strongest opinion that can change immediately.
So, strong opinions, but the will to live. We're also gonna have them recommend a place for us to have dinner.
Yeah.
So hopefully we have a delicious dinner and a good recommendation.
Royalty. Ooh, what's that face?
Oh, whoa.
They're playing ocean sounds?
I think so.
The ocean is right out there, but
So cute.
let's open up these doors. Our beautiful view of the parking lot. Also the ocean.
Babe. America. America. Alright. I'm wearing this thrifted cardigan and this redone pointelle shirt and these Levi's.
This I got from a sample sale.
Todd Snyder.
These we bought from a man at a flea market who makes them.
And your Doc Martens.
Yeah, duh.
I would just like to say that we looked up the weather before we left and it said it was gonna be on fire hot and it's completely socked in cold. So I'm glad I brought a sweater. We are on the way to dinner. We're driving through Montecito. Still in the same driving positions. So tired. Where are we going to dinner?
Local.
We're going to Local for dinner. What kind of fare do they serve? Do you have any clue?
I think it's seafood.
Okay, we're gonna go to Local for seafood. We took a look at the menu, and here it is. Pause to read. I don't know if it's seasonal. We had a Mai Tai and a beer. And then we got this hamachi crudo, which was kind of in like a citrus sauce. Amazing. And then these crab cakes. And they did have quinoa in them, and quinoa makes me barf. And if you look it up, it makes other people barf, but it didn't make me barf. And then this delicious steak frites with the béarnaise sauce and the Parmesan garlic fries. Honestly, was 10 out of 10 delicious. Every single bite of every bit of food. And then we laughed. We laughed and laughed. And we got this peach oatmeal crisp for dessert. Delish. Okay, that was day 1. See you tomorrow for day 2.